When you were growing up, Eric, who are some of the musical artists that influenced you?
Well, it was quite a musical family that I grew up in, and I was the baby of five siblings. So I'm basically the product of the musical taste of my siblings, and my siblings are all extremely um, fanatical music fans, and they've always been to the point where my siblings would like have. This is weird. They would have subscriptions to like professional music publications like Downbeat and Billboard and um you know so my siblings would they would read and find out, okay, who's this next hot artist that's coming out, and they'd be like, let's go to the record store and get them. And so some of the music that I just grew up kind of permeating my creative foundation was, of course, the Luther Vandrosses, the Earth, Wind and Fires, the Donny Hathaways, but also a lot of like jazz fusion, like a lot of Jean-Luc Ponty and Chick Corea and lot of Steely Dan, a lot of like Queen, a lot of like Jeff Beck, a lot of rock. So it was really just like a mixture of soul and rock and that was from my siblings, but from my dad. My dad like had a huge classical music collection, and I'd find myself as this little kid like listening to his classical music collection all day. So it was quite a mixture growing up.
You have this Duets EP out now, and it's so beautiful. I have
Thank
to
you.
ask, where did the concept for it come from? Did you always want to make an album where it's you and maybe people you've worked with before duetting?
Well, historically in my career, I've always had some pretty good success with duets, from um, singles like like with Tamia or Faith Evans. But I've also had like duets on my projects that weren't really singles but were great, like with Michelle and Cello or Lettucey. So, once I started this new company, JBR, with my partner, Allison Ball, we realized that, I hadn't had any new music out in like 8 years. And I think it's about time I do it. And what better place to do it than my own brand new label? And Allison said, if you're going to come out with something, let's do it a little different. Let's just do an entire duets project with you and all female artists. And look, thank you for appreciating it, because I'm extremely proud of the EP. The EP was released in August. Right now, the first single, Something We Can Make Love To, is number 2 on the Billboard charts. And, um, at the top of the year, we're going to release the entire album. So there's going to be 10 more songs of these incredible duets with me and other artists. So I'm extremely excited about it. It's very, in a world of loops and just beats. They don't really call the musical tracks or music anymore. They just call them beats.
Right.
Um, it's a very musical album, which takes a lot of creative exploration into other genres, not just R&B. So I'm excited. Thank you.
Something we can make love to is sexy. What is
Much.
your songwriting process for songs like this?
You know what? I gotta give it up to Lainey Stewart and Felly the Voice, because that is a song that I did not write. Um, I was Allison and I, we have incredible relationships. Obviously, we've been in the music business for about 100 years, so we have all these relationships with incredible producers. And once we put the word out that I was in the studio, um, people started submitting things. And as soon as Lainey Stewart, incredible songwriter, he submitted this track, I was like, yo, this thing feels it feels like something I would have done. And I immediately just had to say, yo, let's get on this. And then his brother, Tricky Stewart, um, recommended we get Tamar, which I thought was an incredible idea because Tamar was already a good friend of mine, and I always thought Tamar had the most incredible voice. So I think it worked out well. So I'm very and I'm a little angry that I didn't write it.
What kind of feedback have you been getting from fans to the song?
Uh, one of the things that I love to hear from fans is this is that old school R&B that we are missing. I'm hearing that repeatedly over and over again, and you know, um, I love this new generation and what they're doing is like some incredible stuff. But look, when I was the new generation, when I was in my 20s, I used to love I used to love to listen to older music. I used to love to listen to like the Spinners and the Temptations, or even further back. I used to listen to like Duke Ellington and Ella Fitzgerald, and like that was my jam when I was in my 20s. So now I'm that guy. So now I'm that older dude who the younger generation is saying, "Yo, I got to tell you, my mama loves your new song, but if I'm being honest, I love it too." So it feels good. It feels good to hold the torch for that old school R&B.
My favorite songs are certainly this with Tamar, but there's also a beautiful song with Corinne Bailey Rae as
Oh
well.
my God.
Do you have any
Yeah.
personal favorites that you have for this duets album?
That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I mean, the song with Corinne, that was a dream come true because I didn't even know Corinne Bailey Ray. I didn't know what her personality vibe was because celebrity types, you never know what you're gonna get. You might get the most loving person in the world, or you might get like, please don't talk to my people, not me type vibe. But I knew that Corinne Bailey Ray was going to be performing on the Capitol Jazz Cruise with me, and I just made up my mind. I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to her show, and somehow I'm gonna get backstage. I'm a bum rusher, and I'm gonna say, I'm Eric Benét, and I want you to sing on my duets project." And she could not possibly been more lovely. And she was like, "Oh, that sounds lovely." And so I basically just flew to London, and my friend Tony Dixon put that track together. And when Corinne and I were in the studio, we wrote that song on the spot. So um, very happy about that. I love another one of my favorites is the Legacy song. It's very much an old school classic song with a big wall of horns. And of course, working with Shantae Moore is a dream come true because she has a freakishly beautiful voice. And we got in the studio and did something that feels fun. And so, yeah, I definitely think there's something on the EP for everybody.
How involved are you then on the production side of the music you make? Are you very hands-on? It sounds like it is that way to me, that you have a say in
Yeah.
all aspects of the music you make.
Yeah, even songs that I don't produce, like something we can make love to with Tamar, I'm very, very much involved. But obviously on songs that I produce, I become quite a stickler for every aspect of it. I think you can kind of hear when I've had a little bit more uh involvement in the production because the track is probably going to feel a little bit more live, have more live instrument elements to it. And I like to do old school things that aren't so cool anymore, like put a bridge in the song. And but but yeah, so they're on the EP. I produced the Lettucey joint, the Shantae joint, um, you know, um, and with my dear friend and my writing production partner Randy Imada. But yeah, production is a very involved process, and I get very involved with it.
You have this EP out now. Is there a dream collab you have for a duet maybe in the future?
Yes, I would love to record a song with Shaka Khan, and I would love to record a song with Barbara Streisand. That would be amazing. I would love that. One day. Bucket list.
That's right, from your mouth to God's ears, as they say.
That's right.
You have such a beautiful voice and you continue to be such a powerhouse on the charts. What would you like to say to people who are fans and supporters of the beautiful music you continue to make?
That I thank you, first of all, for that compliment. But I mean, look, I'm just a guy who loves to sing. I love to write songs. And if it was not for the fans, I would be that guy who loves to sing and who loves to write songs, but who's still working at UPS and still trying to figure out how to put food on the table, and still, you know, got this elusive dream in my head. But it's because of the fans, who are like supportive of me. Um, I'm here and I'm talking to you right now. And a day doesn't go by where that gratitude, that overwhelming feeling of gratitude, for everybody who allows my music to touch them. Um, um, Day doesn't go by where I'm not overcome with gratitude on that fact. So thank you, everybody.